All right, welcome back to The Big Picture. We have a very special guest with
Yes.
us, Chris Hune. You are the CEO of Columbus Landmark, and you just got this position. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
It's been a busy 3 weeks, you said.
It has. And I'm coming in at such an exciting, pivotal time because next year we celebrate our 50th anniversary of the
Oh, that's
organization.
great.
So,
Oh my gosh,
So-
that's exciting.
A lot of people don't know, but Columbus Landmarks, I mean, your priority is preservation.
absolutely.
And there's a
Yes.
lot to preserve here
Right.
in Central
There
Ohio.
is. There
Let's
is.
talk about this new endangered list that you came
Yes.
out with. What's on
Yes.
it?
So we have two schools. The schools were actually have an interesting history because they were designed by architect Howard Dwight Smith, who designed the Ohio Stadium.
Oh.
So, and the one school, Fairwood Elementary, was his first school after he did the stadium. So, they've got a great history and a great story.
What makes a building endangered? Is it because it has that history, or there's one important tie to it that you want to preserve?
It could be either. It could be history. It could be the architectural features to it. So either is a factor in that. And all of the endangered properties that we look at are all submitted by members of the community.
Okay.
We are not the ones that target them. They come to us. So we're there just to assess what has been presented to us and then figure out by either history and or architectural feature what should be included in the current year's
Right.
list.
So then what happens after all that?
So really all we do is we want to be the advocates and allow people to understand that there are opportunities for these properties to be repurposed. They sit in neighborhoods where, sometimes, such as the schools, they're the anchor for the community. So there's opportunities to redevelop. So we're basically just creating awareness.
You said there were two schools. Fairwood Elementary is the second school. That one has such a great history, too.
It does, and it's just now closing. As I said, it was Howard Dwight Smith's first school after he did the Ohio Stadium. And then Courtright is the other one on the
the
list,
east side.
and it also is a Howard Dwight Smith Howard Dwight Smith design. So
And the Warehouse Beacon building,
yes,
people know that.
they do. I mean, some of us have been in and out of that building, and I think a lot of people don't pay attention to it because they see it at street level. But it has a great history. It's a mid-century modern design. If you go on our website, columbuslandmarks.org, there is a great drone video of all of the endangered properties, and you'll get a better perspective of the Beacon building from that video. So there's a lot of it. There's just a lot of different aspects to it that you maybe don't see from the street level.
Right, like who knew it was a mid-century modern building? That's one of
Exactly.
them.
Yes.
It doesn't really
Yes.
look like that on the
Yes.
outside. So Columbus is obviously growing at a rapid pace. How do you balance new builds and then this whole preservation side of things?
So people have heard me say before, we're kind of a victim of our own success.
Sure.
But I think there's opportunities, and we've seen them around the communities where buildings get repurposed. Housing is top of mind for everybody, especially with the city of Columbus. And a lot of these buildings could be repurposed, and a lot of them have been repurposed for new housing. So we encourage people to look at these developments and see what the potential is moving forward.
When we talk about how that relates to Boomtown, which is our series that looks at the challenges of growth, especially here in Central Ohio, I remember we visited Austin, Texas, who we get compared to a lot.
I watched that one.
And they took an old school building, and instead of tearing it down, they turned it into kind of an indoor mall for local vendors.
Yeah.
And then that way it became a place for people to go to. And it still remained that center
Right.
of the community, but
Right.
then it still had the local roots. And you kept the history.
Absolutely.
Which was a beautiful way. But people
Yes.
have to come together, but you also need that private partnership to back
Absolutely.
this.
Yeah. So I'll give an example. Open Air School in Clintonville is a perfect example. It was a school. It has now got a restaurant. It's got a coffee shop. It has event venues in it. It is thriving in its neighborhood. So yeah. So people, and it
We
was
should
a
go,
private
Bryn.
development.
I know,
Yes.
that sounds fun to
Yes,
me.
it's lovely. Yeah, they've got a lovely patio there. So yes,
Yeah.
So there's a lot of opportunities for people. You just have to look at it with fresh eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What ideas do you have for some of these other spaces?
Well, I mean, again,
Kind of early.
I have another hat where I've been on the affordable housing side with some of my organizations, including I'm on the Homeport board. So we have repurposed schools. Barrett Middle School is another perfect example that was redeveloped, and it is a thriving, and it's become the anchor of that neighborhood just south of German Village. So
What do they repurpose it into?
it's apartments.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, because some of these buildings are so big.
Yeah.
You could just move people
Yeah,
in
I
there.
mean,
for a
there's
place to live.
apartments in there that still have the gym floor on them.
Oh,
so,
wow.
So it's an amazing way that they redeveloped that. That was a Casto project many years ago.
I love
so.
the fact, though, that it also makes it affordable because
Absolutely.
affordability is so different depending on which side of the fence you're
Right.
on.
Yeah.
But when you think about, well, we have these spaces, and instead of just tearing down farmland or whatever, we have the space.
Right.
We just got to figure out what to do with it.
Right. Well, and so one of the opportunities is if somebody wants to repurpose it and they look at it, they can actually apply for it to be a part of the historic properties certificate, and then they can go for historic tax credits. So there's other opportunities to be a part of that. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Chris Hune, thank you so much for
thank you
joining
so
us
much for
today.
joining us. And I will say, please join us at columbuslandmarks.org.
Okay.
Will do.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good to
Thank
see
you.